Holmes, do you believe the sheriff? That we won't escape?
One cannot be hurt. By superstition, Watson. This hut has been abandoned for a long time.
It reeks of damp. We're more likely to sink in there than on our boat. Let's go. To investigate the area. I'll watch the bio while you search the place. Look, Holmes. Fireflies!
How are you faring, Watson? Are you tired?
Not yet, but I've more than had it with these damn mosquitoes. What's that, Holmes?
Whatever, or whoever it was, we should ready ourselves.
Did you hear that, Holmes? What do you see?
A shadow. Nothing more.
If you told me when I binned your paper that we'd end up fleeing the law in a rowboat through the Louisiana Bayou...
I dare say you would have hardly been surprised. The air is getting thicker, almost suffocating.
The stench of death. All too familiar now. Weeks of... We're more likely to sink in there than on our boat. Let's go.
Of the gators, Watson. It is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close upon you.
Reeks of damp. We're more likely to sink.
Careful of the gators, Watson. It is stupidity rather than courage to refuse to recognize danger when it is close upon you.
Holmes, hand me the rifle. I can shoot the ropes holding a few of those poor souls. Come on, Holmes, give me the rifle. We shouldn't waste time in a place like...
Watson, stay calm, but be quick. An alligator has noticed us.
That's vicious.
That's nature, Watson. Let's try not to annoy them.
Any sign of arson? If not, let's push on.
That pier looks promising over there, Watson.
We're approaching the heart of darkness. This place gives me the shivers, despite the muggy night.
Ashmat dragged Arneson here. Ugh, the smell of burning flesh, just horrific.
Keep away from it, focus on our task, so we may soon leave all this behind.
This is not Arneson, just another unfortunate soul. The hand tied here was bleeding in 4 places. This had to have been Arneson. The victim's left hand clawed at the soil. The bloody handprint on this stone lacks 4 fingers. Sunken heels, the result of dragging a heavy body. Days old and rotten. Damp and mouldy hay. The prisoners were kept like animals, slowly deteriorating under the gruesome treatment. The wood is swamp cypress, endemic to the area. A simple rope. The blood is dry. The axe has not been used for some time. This is how those poor people were crucified. The initials EA are embroidered with silk thread. The prisoner's clothes tossed aside. Only this indentation was spared from blood. The tracks lead behind the stone slab. Blood was poured over someone, leaving a gruesome silhouette. Bowls filled with blood. A worn blade, but clean and without blood. Both ends of the rope were cut cleanly. That's a lot of blood, but probably not enough to be fatal. The captive was dragged through hell. A heavy weight scored impressions in the ground 1 inch deep. Arneson was held captive in this cage until his abductors tied him to a cross and dragged him to the bonfire. Arneson was left hanging here for a while before being freed and led to the altar. At the altar, Arneson's captors performed a ritual on him and poured blood over his head. With Arneson now prepared, he was escorted to the sealed entrance. They used the mechanism with an indentation to open the passage. Heavy and covered in blood.
Damn it. Something is wrong with my lantern. Give me a minute.
I won't wait for you. I'm going in.
Woe betide those who take it. Walk away. Let the unknown be.
That's human skin. And still warm. What's happening? Deja vu, and not in a pleasant way. And now, axes? What on earth for? Now it is glowing, but why? There's that glow again. That was all. I can't take anymore.
At last, the lantern's working again. Holmes, I'm coming. Holmes, what are you doing? Sitting in a place like this?
How did you get here? How did you get through the maze? Tell me, Watson.
What maze? I walked straight up to you. You saw me.
Do not lie to me, John. How did you get out?
Sherlock, what happened? Are you feeling all... Oh, heavens. Is that Arneson? Why didn't you mention him? Stay put. I must check if he is alive.
I just need a second, John.
I need to focus on Arneson.
The unknown, beckoning, great one, lightning!
I should examine him before he has another seizure. Blunt trauma to the cranium, dilated pupils, lips moving without a sound. Severed fingers, the wounds are inflamed. Heart is racing, 110 beats a minute. Cold sweat. 2, no, 3 ribs fractured. Arneson is delirious after all he's endured. We can't get him to the boat in a state like that. It's dangerous to us and him. This is Dwale, induces sleep and relaxation. A gluey decoction. The smell is herby but sharp. It appears burnt, judging by the color. Salvia divinorum. Provokes visual hallucinations.
The walls are spinning. Let me catch my breath.
I wonder what this language is. The nightmares these poor souls had to endure. I can't decipher that text. Pokeweed berries, though they appear harmless, the whole plant is lethal. Some kind of Amanita mushroom, extremely poisonous. pharmacopoeia, listing drugs, effects, and directions for use. Odorless, watery, and hard to identify. Please tell me there are no wheels inside, Anderson. Please tell me there are no wheels inside, Anderson.
Bug. That place. I got lost.
This should help soothe Anderson.
I need some fresh air.
Yes, please go. I'll be right behind you with Anderson. Perhaps you can prepare the boat.
me feel. Free me festering soul and let me feel. Eyes without purpose, and now see the truth. Tear me mind from me flesh, score me festering soul. Phantoms of nothing, we are born to die. Filth in the eyes of our eldritch lord.
Free my festering soul and let me feel.
Oh, please, I wish to return. Free me, let me return. Free me and rejoice.
Eyes without purpose, I now see the truth. Tear my mind from my flesh.
Holmes, are you all right? Here, let me help.
I'm fine.
Holmes? Sherlock! What the hell were you doing? He almost killed you.
I don't... You're right. Let's go, Watson.
Bon Dieu! Still among the living.
We are, though not for lack of trying by the sheriff.
Well, he'd been telling people you died in the swamp despite his trying to save you. Crooked man. Through and through. Wait, is that Mr. Arneson?
Yes, but he's not well. Do you know Lucy?
Belle from the Nymph? That I do.
Please bring her here. Mr. Arneson needs to see a familiar face if he's to have any chance of surviving.
Power of the heart. I get you. Wait here.
Errol? Oh, Errol!
Reckon we should give him space. Farewells are painful.
No. Tell me that's not true.
Watson?
Mr. Arneson has endured a lot. Lost 4 fingers, a lot of blood, and some of his sanity. But with rest and tender care, he ought to survive those injuries, both physical and mental.
Thank you, Johnny. I'll take care of him. Thank you for bringing him home to me. We'll be all right.
Are you quite certain? Do you have the space? The resources?
I will stay with him at the mansion. It is not a burden to take care of your love.
His property is in quite a state. It may not be the best place for recuperation.
Hush now. Champagne will see it sorted.
Then it's settled. Hear that, Errol? Us living under one roof. Careful what you wish for. Oh, and champagne? I'm about sick of watching that sheriff run riot through New Orleans. We ought to talk.
Funny. I was just thinking that grub did nothing to save your man. Together, I reckon you, me, and Errol have the sway to make some changes round here.
I like the sound of that.
Holmes, our boat.
Oh, we must make haste. Farewell all. Take care. Who's there?
Who do you think?
Let it be known that I'm handy with this revolver.
Nonsense, Dr. Watson. As I understand it, when faced with the imperative to defend oneself, one's comrades, and one's nation, you fled. Aren't you going to introduce us, Sherlock?
Watson, meet my brother Mycroft, the Queen's best boy. This is a grim augury indeed, for wherever Mycroft travels, tedium surely follows.
In contrast, of course, to Sherlock, a man whose obsessive pursuit of the trivial tears through the most carefully laid plans like a hurricane. Do you have any idea what you have disrupted?
Your ego is inflated as much as your waistband. What word comes to mind?
You work for the government?
International trade is a delicate beast. Your antics in Edelweiss have jeopardized one of the Crown's richest relationships.
Oh dear, as rich as all the butter you've been slathering on your bread?
We need your help.
What?
There is evil afoot. Strangeness and savagery like I have never seen. Something otherworldly festering in the dark beyond our reach. We have seen things that defy explanation. Mystic forces, magic. You must help us!
It's true.
The British government does not invest its resources in the insane or intoxicated. Pull yourself together.
I know men like you. Men like you grease palms, whisper in ears, start wars, and you send men like me to die in them. You and the rest of your corpulent cronies. Ha! Corpulent! That was it.
Interesting, Sherlock. But as you again drift away from sanity, you find yourself another John.
All right, so the choice is made.
I beg your pardon?
There is only us. We cannot run from this problem. I shall take the book and Davy's cryptic message to Barnes. See what he makes of it.
As you were, Watson. Do what you must.
Am I mad? This painting wasn't here last time, was it?
Another sinking near Scotland. By the Strand for all the details. Cool. Thank you, sir. Just back from a trip, Doctor. You look exhausted.
May I ask you something?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
It has been a while, Barnes.
Dr. Watson. Indeed it has, and good to see you as always. How can I help?
Someone is full of pep.
Oh, yes. Mr. Holmes, he was quite the inspiration. Last time you were in town, he offered me some stirring advice, which I have since acted upon.
Holmes is nothing if not provocative.
Indeed, the thorny truth is often hard to hear, but it did the job, and now my heart is full.
I'm glad to hear it.
Much obliged, Doctor.
Barnes, does Stevenson's guiding light mean anything to you?
Well, my mind first goes to Robert Louis Stevenson, an up-and-coming author. I've been following his work in the periodicals. Interesting man. I take it his literary pursuits are somewhat of a deviation from the family business.
What makes you say that?
He wrote a poem. Let me see if I have it still. Yes. Say not of me that weakly I declined the labours of my sires, and fled the sea, the towers we founded, and the lamps we lit.
The labours of his sires. I wonder what they do.
I have a book on great British families. If the Stevensons have achieved anything of note, they will be in there. Please, feel free to take a look. It should be on the shelves to the right.
Much obliged. Last time we met, you mentioned your knack for translating occult texts. I was wondering if you could help me with this book.
Certainly, Goodness. Where on earth did you procure this grimoire?
That's a long story. What do you make of it?
It seems to describe pagan rituals, ancient deities. Wow, what a marvel. I can try and translate it for you.
Just the pages bearing that symbol. This section, really.
Entity of ocean or time. Oh my. Oh, already on it, as you can tell.
If you can have it done at your earliest convenience, that would be lovely. Take care of your master. For some reason, it makes my skin crawl.
A moment, please. Spellbinding pages.
Say, do you possess coastal maps of Scotland?
Indeed. Have you figured out what the Stevensons are known for?
Feats of lighthouse engineering. You have my thanks for the book.
My pleasure, Doctor. Do you need any particular part of the coast?
Loch Harbour, west coast.
Right then. I'll unroll it on the desk. All yours. In the meantime, I will attend to my translation.
Much appreciated.
Dr. Watson, how nice to see you, despite the inclement weather. At least my flowers are enjoying the rainfall.
Get the strand, get the true facts. You had a visitor earlier. He seemed angry.
Family, Watson. I let go of the best part in Cordona. Now I am left with the worst in my crop.
Another sinking near Scotland. By the strand for all the details.
ask you something?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
May I ask for your assistance?
Oh, if only I could help you with this.
Get the strand, get the tree.
Could you help?
tracks.
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
Nearly done, Doctor. Have you found the book you're after? Go.
Barnes, have you finished with the book?
Yes. I've written out a translation of the section you wanted. It, puts the Grim in Grimoire.
I thought as much.
Long story short, it details macabre rituals, death, leviathans, and the apocalypse. See for yourself. I must ask you to leave the book with me so I can read more of it. It's compelling. Very compelling.
You have been of great help, so yes.
Excellent. I could barely put it down. Farewell. A fascinating book. Thank you for the opportunity, Doctor.
Mycroft, here to buy a book on fraternal dysfunction?
The Holmes family is beyond counseling, Doctor.
True, more deserving of scientific study. What do you want?
I came to warn you. Perhaps you have a moment to...
Sorry, I reserve Tuesday afternoons for time with friends.
I'm worried about Sherlock. He's not well. You should know that he has had episodes in the past. Detachment from reality. He will need your support.
Such gall. First you crush him under your boot heel, now you ask me to pick up the pieces.
Your emotions are impeding your rationality. He needs to be distracted, diverted into something less harmful.
Surely you jest. Only one thing shall truly bring him peace of mind, and that is solving his case.
The last case he pursued so doggedly was Cordona. He came home a wreck, and this time I fear he may not return at all.
You are not his father, Mycroft. Not anymore. He is a grown man, a brilliant man. I know you care for him. I just wish you also respected him.
The Crown cannot help you. But I can. Give him this.
What is it?
A confidential note tied to his case. He may see value in it. Just do not tell him it came from me. Oh, speaking of the Crown, perhaps you can help us with another matter? It requires some local knowledge.
I'm all ears.
For your eyes only. Here is a folder with all the details.
Excuse me, just one question.
I wish I could help, but I know nothing.
The spyglass was positioned to watch the windows of the embassy across the road. A map of possible routes taken from the embassy. I thought only Sherlock was capable of this kind of deduction. Royal Berkshire Regiment. His face and neck are swollen, and I can see wasp stings all over the skin. Only his right arm was functional. His left arm was paralyzed in the war. Capital M, signed by someone else's hand. Unlike Holmes, I don't carry lockpicks. A wasp's nest. They might attack if someone draws too close or are otherwise provoked. Much like London itself. Near perfect camouflage. It makes me wonder if Mycroft also spies on our suite in Baker Street. I'm sorry, I have bad news.
Please do not tell me Hawk is a turncoat.
Worse, I have found him dead in his wheelchair, out in the garden.
How did he die? Exactly.
He was stung repeatedly by wasps. His body succumbed to anaphylaxis.
And that is all you observed? Was there anything suspicious?
Well, there was one thing. In his notes I found a handwritten M, but it didn't match Hawk's other writing.
Listen carefully, Doctor. Do not investigate further, do not talk about this matter to anyone, and do not ask questions. Thank you. Now leave it alone.
I'm sorry, I have bad news.
Please do not tell me Hawk is a
No, nothing suspicious. It was just an unfortunate accident.
Good. Our secrets remain safe, even if we lost several days of valuable insight. The Crown thanks you, Watson. I must hasten back and find a replacement informant. Good day.
Please let Mr. Holmes know that he may always read the latest Strand at no cost.
Another sinking near Scotland. By the Strand for all the details.
You held your own against Mycroft. Makes for a formidable foe. A daunting brother. Go on without me, Watson. I need a rest. And a smoke or two.
This weather is so bad. Do you think a storm is coming? Get the Strand, get the true facts.
Mr. Barnes is very sweet. We're getting engaged. He said he can provide for me and that I can stop working. But I have an idea. A combined bookshop and florist. Tell me that isn't a match made in heaven. Ah, Dr. Watson, life is indeed glorious. Not even rain can spoil my joy. Why don't you take a flower? On me. Ah, Dr. Watson, life is indeed glorious. Not even rain can spoil my...
I feel a bit strange, Doctor. Like I have a fever. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it. I'm sure I'll be fine. Now, I don't know where you obtain this grimoire, but I'd love to buy it.
Another sinking near Scotland. By the Strand for the...
Holmes, I have the translation. Barnes will keep researching. Holmes?
Watson?
Did you hear me? Barnes gave us a preliminary translation of the book. I think we have a lead. Sherlock, what is it?
I find myself burdened. It will come as no surprise that I tend towards obsession. Indeed, obsession oft grants me the insights that have become my stock in trade, my greatest asset. Yet I cannot deny this nature proves as much a hindrance as a boon. It has cost me friends, colleagues, brothers. And despite my obsession as I contend with the matter at hand, no closer to understanding than when we began, I must conclude that I am of no worth at all. Without an answer, what use is the question?
Sherlock, this is no time for despair. The book is real. Those men went mad.
John, I fear that I am as mad as the rest of them.
I bore witness to the same events that you did. I saw with my own eyes the inexplicable, the ghastly, and the unnatural. I can attest to their occurrence. So take heart, for it was as real as you or I, and thus we must persist. Lives hang in the balance. If you cannot see your worth, then trust in me, for I see it. And I know of no other man capable of putting this matter right.
Thank you, John. Would that I possessed even half your courage. Pray tell, where does our journey end?
Ardnamurchan, Scotland. Well, shall we be off?
Yes, of course. You can apprise me of your actions while we pack.
Holmes, if we don't make land soon, I fear we will join those missing souls. These seas have taken too many, John. Let's stop them from taking more, then.
Ouroboros, the snake eating itself. An ancient symbol of eternal... Fresh marks, something scraped along the stone. This door requires a very specific key. An old cannon, probably rusting here since the 16th century. Where did the shirt come from?
Holmes, look. There's a body here.
Not just any body, it's Ashmat.
The body is still soft to the touch. He died recently.
Scratches, bruises, and stabs, all self-inflicted. The infamous curved dagger. It's tied firmly to his hand. Oh, his eyes are gouged out. A broken chain. Something was attached to the end.
But he succumbed to all those wounds.
A human-sized imprint. Someone fell on their back. This branch was recently broken. The wood is still green. Whatever Ashmat had secured to his chain, he lost it here. Scratches. This medallion saw frequent use. Interesting occult pattern.
What drove him to this dreadful act?
I fear we are about to see for ourselves. Barred and barricaded from the inside. The door won't budge. An obsidian heart. Masterful work. That's a crafty mechanism and quite ancient. This vessel is covered in dried blood.
Oh, I get it. We need fresh blood. And no, I'm not volunteering.
Fear not. I think Ashmat can help. They used fresh blood in some kind of ritual. Sealed shut, and seemingly for a long time. have anything to hold blood, Watson?
Fine, take my flask. The lever doesn't want to stay on its own.
Watson, hold the lever for me. I must investigate.
Holmes, watch out! My lever went back up.
The doors, Watson. Hold the doors.
We're trapped! Now what?
Look around. There must be something we can use.
A rather accurate depiction of the human heart. I feel like these walls have eyes.
Those holes seem to have a purpose, but I won't risk my arm to find out what. Be ready for anything, Watson. It's all right, Watson. It's merely a chest with coins and a dagger, made of obsidian by the looks of it. Use these with care. Let us be the first adventurers to raid a tomb without destroying it. Terrific. Now, onward before they close again.
Let us hope our paths converge, Holmes. Is that you, Holmes?
The Abyss. Why does it call me? Why?
Holmes!
Help me.
Holmes! Speak up! Holmes! Holmes! Speak up!
Help me.
Holmes! Speak up!
Help me.
Holmes!
Watson.
I'm coming!
John! John, I'm falling!
Keep talking!
Help! Please help!
Sherlock?
Watson!
Keep talking! John, I'm falling!
Holmes! Holmes, come on, wake up! Thank heavens. What were you doing? What happened?
The whirlwind. Stars so distant. The sun inverts the earth. It becomes transparent.
Sherlock, snap out of it.
Nothing is everything. We are so small, inconsequential. A shadow in the dark.
I think we best go back. You are not well, Sherlock.
No. We are so close. We cannot...
You asked that I intervene if I saw you cracking. This is me intervening.
With every passing minute, another life is extinguished. We must stop. Rochester, we must end this.
Ah, Sherlock, you almost died.
Do not worry about me, John. You have other men to save.
I thought that I'd seen horrors during the war, but this... Careful, Holmes!
Sir, are you all right? No response.
Here. Don't mind my trembling hands. It's not fear.
They are all entranced, captivated by the light of the lens.
Sherlock, don't touch it. We still don't know what it is capable of.
The base appears to rotate.
Hands off, Holmes. We have no idea of its purpose.
The sheer form of it, the color, it makes me feel uneasy. Black, metallic, and with a characteristic hue. Obsidian yet again. This material feels very sturdy. It would take an enormous effort to break like that.
Mad cultists, ancient ritual sites. Had I known where this case would lead, I would never have brought you to see Stenwick. That's it! You did it! The lens broke!
John, the worshippers, we need to make sure...
Of course, I'll see if they're all right.
At least this awful mask is breathable. Chest is moving fast. She's hyperventilating. Check her pulse, can you, Watson?
As expected, the pulse is elevated, but within normal limits.
Stop there, shipmates! A storm awakens and we've battened down the Archers.
Dirty Summers, I presume. Nice to put a filthy, sweat-covered face to a name.
That's no way to speak to a captain!
Sherlock, get down!
Watson, you killed him!
I didn't have a choice.
Well, what's done is done. If we do not stop Rochester, Summers' death will be but one of many.
Stop there, shipmates! A storm... May the old one's embrace be cold and complete.
All right, enough talk. Time for action.
Stop there, shipmates! A storm awakens.
Watson!
I only wounded him. Hurry, we must tie him up.
You are fools. Tying me up won't stop the awakening.
My sanity is slipping away.
Can
I
you
feel
feel
like
in your
I've
bones?
been
The
there.
storm approaches, a storm so immense it will black out the sun forever. One look at his face shall boil your eyes. One stomp of his foot will bleed your ears. You are doomed, and now there is no way back. Ha 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 ha! You are doomed, and now there is no way back. Ha 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 ha!
They made sure no one could enter through the main door. They modified the gallery and watchroom. Khalid lenses are placed inside the lantern room. It seems they have placed beam emitters all over the main gallery. One moment, Watson. I'll redraw this blueprint. Hay for padding. They didn't want their cargo damaged.
I know this company. They make Fresnel lenses, essential for any modern lighthouse lantern.
Hold on. We need a plan.